What's up? I'm the Cartoon-theorist YT. The Owl House Season 2 intro dropped recently, and it looks amazing. We've learned that the Owl House Season 2 will premiere Saturday, June 12th at 10 a.m., so very soon. Season 2 picks up immediately following the confrontation with Emperor Belos and finds our heroes working together to return Luz to the human realm, help Ida confront her inner demons, and search for the truth about King's past. We also now know Season 3 will be three 44-minute specials. Dana Terrace and Matt Brawley, he's the creator of Infinity, in case you didn't know, did an interview with YouTuber It's Rebecca Rose on April 8th. In that interview, we got a blurry pic from the intro, and now we have the full thing. Well, I'm excited, so let's jump into it, break it all down, and figure out what could happen in the Owl House Season 2. Spoiler warning for the possibility anything I say comes true. Let's start the show. So first off, we open up with the portal door's eye reflecting flames. As you may remember at the end of Season 1, in order to save Ida, Luz gave Emperor Belos the portal, but not without sticking some flame dwarfs to it, as Luz blew it up thinking Emperor Belos now couldn't access the human world. The eye was the only thing left remaining. In the end of the final episode of Season 1, though, we saw him rebuilding the portal bigger and better. Speaking of bigger and better, Luz is getting even better at her magic. She stands a light glyph that creates 5 words. This could represent the 5 people who now live in the Owl House. This includes Ida, Lilith, King, Hootie, and of course, Luz. It's a light spell instead of one of her new spells because that's the first spell she ever did. It's also the first one she might teach Ida, as Ida lost her powers after splitting the curse with her sister, Lilith. We see Luz jump down in the cape Ida was going to give her before Ida got captured. The cape is made of witch's wool that repels powerful spells. I imagine that now she's a public enemy, Luz will have to hide her face anytime she leaves the Owl House. Next, Ida goes through a portal, which could be foreshadowing for how Luz gets home or how Ida is able to visit Luz when she hopefully goes home. She uses her staff no problem because, as we know, a staff's power is not related to the witch's power. Ida spins her staff around much like how Luz spins Ida's staff in the first intro. King pops out of Ida's hair, which could be a reference to Season 1, Episode 17, Wing It Like Witches, when King went inside of Ida's hair to, take a nap. Yeah, I know it's weird. Anyways, Willow, not in uniform, summons a bunch of plant vines, her eyes glowing. I really want them to touch on this at some point. It's very interesting that she is the only character we've seen whose eyes glow while performing magic. Gus slides in, creating 2 illusions of himself in a puff of smoke. He has what we can assume to be a spell book. This spell book is white with red stripes, so it could be a book he steals from Emperor Belos. The one on the right is smiling while the other one is doing a surprised expression. Amity twirls into the scene. Her hands glow as slime falls down the screen. We're shown Lilith, the spy, and Kikimura. And on each of the bottom sides, their 2 quote-unquote layers are shown. If you look closely, you'll notice that the Owl House now seems to be located on a hill. It would make sense that they have moved to another location, as being in the same place the Emperor knows you are in and will attack is a terrible idea. Above them are the main 9 covens: the Abomination Coven, the Bard Coven, the Peacekeeping Coven, the Construction Coven, the Healing Coven, the Illusionist Coven, the Oracle Coven, the Plant Coven, and finally the Potions Coven. Instead of their usual symbols, it's replaced by their coven's individual leaders. We have only seen the Construction Coven's leader before. I gotta say that the illusionist coven's leader looks exactly like Gus. Maybe Gus's older cousin or something is in charge of this? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm intrigued by the plant coven's leader. Her hair, or should I say her vines, cover most of her face. This could mean that this will be a very important character. Oh, I'm calling it. It could be Willow's mom. This background is something new, as before there were roots surrounding everything. An interesting thing to take note of here is that there is a female, male, female pattern for where these characters will be placed. In Season 1, the first two characters on the left started off as good, with Amity on the right end starting off as an antagonist, then becoming good. Now it's flipped, with Lilith, the character who started off as an antagonist, now the good guy, apparently, is the one at the end left. Going back to our three characters, starting off with the person who cursed Ida, Lilith. Yeah, I'm still upset about that. And yes, I know these people aren't real, but still, Lilith has her hand ready to strike. On the other hand is her staff. The spy also has a staff. Not just any staff, a staff similar to Emperor Belos' staff. Right next to him, Kiki Mora is covering her face. By the way, we haven't seen her mouth or her other eye, which could be important for later. It then flips. We now have Lilith putting out a hand as she covers her face. She is now in normal clothing. Perhaps after everything she's been through, she now has terrible nightmares of the things she's done, or about the things Emperor Belos has done. The spy is now shown to be the blonde guy we saw in Dana Terrace's live stream she did months ago. When Dana Terrace said,
for anyone who looks at that and says like, oh, she's giving too much away, I'm really not.
I think she really meant it for this one character. In the live stream, he had a speech bubble that said he was tired. The speech bubble could just mean he is tired, or, here comes the crazy, he wants to join Luce's side and fight Emperor Belos. I mean, come on, they were Team Lilith, and she was the worst. Not as a character, just as a person. Now, while that may be a likely outcome, Dana Terrace has said that Season 2 was going to be a lot darker. I could see him joining the Owl House team, earning their trust, only to betray them in the end. Oh, I'm not done yet. Then he betrays Emperor Belos at the last minute, sacrificing himself in the process to save them from... Tell me in the comments down below. Kikimora has her hand hair open with a huge vein as she is pissed. Kikimora even has crazy eyes. To recap, she is the assistant of Emperor Belos, and sometimes is a tour guide for visitors when they come to the Emperor's castle. Kikimora first appears after the events of Convention in an auto-visual transmission to Lilith, discussing her failure in capturing the Owl Lady, aka Ida. She advises Lilith to remember the reward that Emperor Belos has promised her for Ida's capture. We don't see Kikimora again until episode 18. Kikimora at the end of episode 19 hinted at her being more powerful than we think. She says, quote, "Sire, these miscreants are still at large. Please allow me to capture them." Now, you may assume I'm reading too much into things, but notice how she says, quote, "allow me to capture them," not "allow me to send an army" or whatever. This means she thinks or knows she has the ability to capture them all on her own. From what the Wikipedia says on Kikimora's, quote, "it is a common belief that Kikimora enters the room through the keyhole, sits on the chest of the sleepers, and tries to strangle them. Hence, Moriti, to torture, to bother, to strangle. Do I think this is going to happen? Oh, hell no. This is a kid's show. Nonetheless, a Disney show of all things. It also said that Kikimoras can infect dreams. I would love to see an episode in season 2 where we get to explore the dreams of everyone in the Owl House. In one dream, Kikimura could learn that Amity is friends with Luce, which would later bring us to the parental conflict. Remember, in a Reddit AMA, someone asked Terrace, quote, "Without spoiling anything, what can we expect from season 2 of the Owl House?" She responded, quote, "You can expect parental conflict, a lot of emotions, island exploration, and new characters." The way she typed it out, it said, "The hidden message, pain." So, what will this season be about? Pain. So any dark theories for now work. I bet Kikimura will report to Emperor Belos about Amity, who will then report this to Amity's parents, if he knows them, which has been hinted at. From then on, we would start to learn about Amity's parents, what makes them the way they are, and their connections to people, one of those people possibly being Emperor Belos. Something important is that Kikimura is notably one of the few demons to demonstrate magical abilities, utilizing a spell circle to break Edo's restraints in episode 19. Another demon we've seen use a spell circle is Tiggles. Going back to the intro, Emperor Belos then burns it all up with a flame in his hand. He clenches his fist and then does a super evil pose right in front of his castle. Red lightning strikes in the background, revealing his blue eyes. The lightning represents the color of his magic. The lightning then gets bigger as it turns white with a yellow aura around it. This could represent Luce getting more powerful, as the lightning is the color of her light spell. Everything that happens next is exactly like Season 2, except in a darker period of the day. As we know, this will be a darker season. We get the Owl House logo, now with the Titan skeleton surrounding it. I have the feeling Season 2 will have a lot more to do with the Titan. As we zoom in closer, the light, ice, plant, and fire spells appear from behind the logo. They then combine to make a circle, which could represent the glyphs, but also a portal, aka Luce's way home. Season 2 might focus on the villains more than the good guys. Well, what do you think? Will Lilith get a good character arc? Will this season answer our burning questions about the demon realm? How much more will we learn about King's past? And more importantly, when are you going to subscribe? I've been the Cartoon-theorist YT. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss any of my videos. And I also have closed captions now in case you didn't notice. And with that, stay tuned.